Hey everybody, I'm Ashley Pinciaro and I'm the Children's Ministry Director at our Lexington campus, and I'm excited to be here with you guys this morning. A little background information for those of you who may not know me. I've been at Grace now for about 4 years, so we've been back in Boston for about 4 years. Prior to that, my husband and I did a 7-year stint on Long Island. We were in Boston 2 years before that, and before that I grew up for 22 years in the great state of Mississippi, which I love and miss so much. Now we've settled into Arlington, Mass with our 2 girls. We have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. So that is where you're joining us this morning. So thank you for being here. Life for us kind of always feels busy. It's busy to work full time and to have tiny people and old dogs like we have. But right now, during this season of quarantine, I think we're on day 34, it feels super, super busy. We are pretty much, we work full time. We're trying to do that at home. We have the kids with us full time. We're trying to keep the house functional, trying to give the kids like a good, fun, diversified experience. And honestly, I think it's going pretty well, as well as it can be going. But I do feel and recognize that I'm not getting to spend the moments with God that I would like to. It can be hard in our very loud house to find some moments of quiet. So for me, those quiet moments can be, the few minutes I take to walk the dogs around the block, or popping in the car to drive up to the store to get something that we need. So I try to take those moments and use them well. And one of the ways that I really do that is to just turn on some good worship music. I'll throw my headphones in, I'll push the car radio up, and try to find some music that really helps me connect with God in those brief moments. And this year I've really connected with this one group that I want to tell you guys about. Their name is Maverick City Music, and they do this beautiful thing where they combine contemporary Christian music with gospel music. And the result is just this powerful, impactful, just beautiful music that helps me feel closer to God. And while we've been in quarantine, they've actually released a new record, and I've been listening to it over and over, and it's so good. But there's this one song in particular that I love. The name of the song is Promises, and I'm going to try to put a link to it here in the description of the video so you can see it. But I want to share some of the lyrics with you guys this morning. The first one says, "God, from age to age, though the world may pass away, your word remains the same." Can you understand why that is connecting right now? Though the world may pass away, your word remains the same. Another one, "I put my faith in Jesus, my anchor to the ground, my hope and firm foundation. He'll never let me down." And one more, "From the rising sun to the setting same, I will praise your name." I've been listening to this song over and over and over, and singing the song over and over and over. And as I do, I find myself just wanting to sit with the promises that God gives us. I feel like in this season, what can give us a better foundation than leaning into those promises? So while I've done that, I found a couple that have really connected with me that I thought I would share with you. The first is from Revelations 3:20, and it says, "Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person and they with me." While we've been in quarantine for these 30 plus days, I just keep asking myself, what is God doing in this season? Not just in the world, but with me. What does God want from me in this season? And I don't super know the answer to that yet. But what I do know, because it tells us right here in this promise that God is giving us, is that I can keep asking, that I can keep answering the door and saying, "God, what are you doing with me in this season?" And I also know that I want to be open to receiving what he has to say, that I want to be listening, that I want to be available. I want to be slowed down enough to hear what he may have to say to me. I love the imagery here of God knocking at the door. Imagine taking one of your quarantine meals and just spending it answering that door and just peppering God with questions. God, what is this season? God, what am I to do? What are you looking for from me right now? Another scripture point that I've just been loving right now is from Hebrews chapter 13, verses 5 and 6. And I actually really love the Message translation of that, so I thought I would share that with you this morning. I love the opener. It says, "Be relaxed with what you have." Right now, like, that's all we can do, right? Is just be relaxed with what we have. And then it goes on, "Since God assured us, I will never let you down, never walk off and leave you." Isn't that the promise that we need right now? To know that God is with us, whatever we are facing and however we are processing where we are, God's not going to walk off and leave us. So today, what I would love for you to do is like grab a sheet of paper or grab your phone, whatever you want to write on, and jot down a few promises from God that you want to reflect on. A few things that you feel like God has promised you. I want you to write them down because I want you to be able to go back to them. And I want you to be able to go back to them and then go back and talk to God about them. Talk to God about it in prayer. Talk to God about it over breakfast. Talk to God about it over dinner. Answer that door that He's knocking on. Let Him in. Know that He won't walk off and leave you as you answer or as you ask these questions. From the rising sun to the setting same, we can put our faith in Jesus and let Him be the foundation that holds us steady. And for those promises, I think we can all be very, very thankful.